Yeah.
maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Give it
um,
another 10 years and we're going to be like Atlanta, I think. Raleigh and Charlotte. Charlotte sooner than Raleigh, but
do you guys,
yeah.
what is your population over there? Do you know?
I think within.
All right. So I am here with Emily Brown. She is over on the call group and she's one of our go-to agents in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And like you service like a large area though, don't you?
Yeah, so we call it in Raleigh, we call it the Triangle, which is comprised of Raleigh, Durham, Cary, and Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So yeah,
And
we
like how far of a drive, like if you have to go show a house over in Cary, how far of a drive is that for you?
yeah, so our office, I mean, again, we service the greater Raleigh area, but our physical office is in Cary, and that's where I live.
Okay.
But everything, the nice thing about our area is everything's within like 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And the traffic is not quite that bad yet. I will say yet. We have an influx of people moving here, so you can get around pretty easily. So 15, 20-minute drive from city to city or town to town.
I feel like everything in Charlotte takes about 15 to 20. Like if somebody will ask me, like, how far is this or how far is this? I'm like, just count on 20 minutes. Like always, it's always
Yeah.
gonna be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Give it
um,
another 10 years and we're going to be like Atlanta, I think. Raleigh and Charlotte. Charlotte sooner than Raleigh, but
do you guys,
yeah.
what is your population over there? Do you know?
I think within, I guess if you were talking Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Chapel Hill, we're well over 1 million.
Are you?
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What about just
Arid
in the
area
Raleigh
is like
area?
500,000 for 500,000.
Okay.
So it's an 8-to-1 ratio right now is what I tell people. Because I work with a lot of relocation clients and they're
Yeah.
always asking like, oh, I bet there's a lot of people moving to the area. And I'm like, yeah, it's an 8-to-1 ratio, 8 families moving with 1 family leaving. So
Oh
it's
my
a
gosh.
spot.
Are you guys running out of room too?
Um, not quite yet. In the main areas like the hub, like Cary and like downtown Raleigh, Morrisville, Apex, there's not a lot of land to build. So everything
Yeah.
is going further out, northeast, south, and west. So
Okay.
there's a ton of new construction happening, just like where you guys are too, but
Yeah.
it's going to get pushed out.
Okay. Well, how
Yeah.
long have you been in the industry?
So I've had my license. I actually got licensed in Charlotte because I started my
Oh,
journey in real estate and new home sales. So I've had it for about 10 years, but got
okay.
into general brokerage about 6 years ago. So
Well,
10 years total, but in the resale general brokerage world, 5, 6.
okay, cool. So you kind of touched on one of the topics, like what brings people to the Raleigh area? I know here, like we have an amazing job market. I know you guys have like really good schools over there. So what does that, like what brings people there?
Yeah, so the leading industries, we have a huge technology science center called Research Triangle Park. And so the majority of folks, at least that I deal with, are moving here for Cisco or GlaxoSmithKline, like R&D jobs. So most of the people that are moving here are moving for Research Triangle Park, which is kind of close. If you're looking at Raleigh as a center, it's kind of in the northwestern side, kind of in between Raleigh and Durham. And then, of course, we have NC State, Duke, Chapel Hill. So a lot of people move for university jobs.
Yeah.
And then education too. Education's huge here.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the leading industries.
Cool. Yeah, we have, I mean, here we have like, you guys have a good airport there too, but we've got the amazing airport, like so close to get over to really any vacation destination. And then we've got a lot of medical technology, and banking here. So every relocation client that I have is like Wells Fargo or, Lowe's has a good amount of people relocating here too. So Honeywell. So it's like a variety of relocations for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
relocation, but I'm also starting to see ever since COVID was just lifestyle change. I
Yeah.
always feel like our market is undervalued for what you can get for the money. You can get a 3,000 square foot home for $500,000, which if you're coming from California or you're coming from New York or New Jersey, that's just unheard of.
Unheard of.
So
Yeah.
a lot of
Unheard
people
of.
come down here to vacation, they go to the beach, and then they're like, well, let's go check out Raleigh or let's go check out Charlotte and just see. And then they fall in love with the area because cost of living is low and just the lifestyle is a little slower pace, but yet there's still so much to do in both cities.
Yeah. So I know Raleigh is a good sized city, but what are your guys' attractions? Like, do you have sports stadiums? Do you have concert halls? Like for larger attractions in the city, what do you guys have?
Yeah. Some of my friends that live on the West Coast and up north, they always pick on me. They're like, oh, you guys don't have a lot of fun things to do there. You don't have, a big city. And I'm like, yeah, we don't have a concrete jungle, but we have so much to do. We have over 200 parks in Raleigh. I love to go to Umstead Park, which is over 6,000 acres,
Oh, wow.
just forest. It's so serene and beautiful. We have lakes, a lot of different concert venues, but there's always something to do. I mean, we've got, of course, college sports, basketball, Duke, UNC. We have a professional hockey team, as most people know, Carolina Hurricanes. They're in Raleigh. We have a minor league baseball team in Durham, the Durham Bulls.
Okay.
They feed into Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there's definitely a lot to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you had to see a concert, like at these concert stadiums, who would you want to see right now?
Oh, Taylor Swift for sure, but she's not coming.
That's my answer too. Are you a big like Swiftie though, or do you just want to see her perform?
I've heard the Eras Tour is just like
Yeah.
showstopper, and I've been looking at TikTok videos recently. I'm like, oh, I wish she would come to Charlotte or Raleigh so I could go. I missed it when she came. I think she came to Atlanta, but I've heard she's an incredible performer. But
Yeah.
let's see, one day she'll come here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm like, I mean, I probably recognize a handful of her songs, but I haven't kept up with her like music career. But I'm like, I keep seeing all these videos of her like diving in pools
No,
and
it's
her
like you
like
have to be
crazy.
a fan. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I would pay to see that because no other performer is doing that right now. So
She has
um,
it's incredible the following that she has and the impact that she has.
I
So
wonder what the biggest, because I mean, she goes to like large cities with that Eras tour. So I wonder where she would go that would be like closest to us.
probably either
Atlanta,
Nashville or Atlanta.
right? That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Probably Atlanta.
And
Yeah.
that's the other thing that's really cool about our area is we're not, I mean, same with you. I mean, we have the beach and the mountains. We have big cities, Nashville, Atlanta, New York City is like an hour and 20-minute flight. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it's the best of both worlds. You can live and work and play in Raleigh. There's plenty to do, but if you want to get out of town for a day trip to the mountains, it's 3 hours. If you want to go to the beach, it's 2 hours. If you want
Yeah.
to plane and go up to New York City for a weekend, it's an hour. Like I said, an hour and 20 minutes. So I think that's another big draw to our areas is we have stuff at our fingertips, but then we're a short plane ride away from other big attractions.
So where do you like if you wanted to take if you and your husband wanted to take a weekend trip and it was like the most convenient thing, like for us, if we wanted to go to the mountains, like Asheville's the most convenient.
Yeah.
Um, and then I know if we went to like the beach, it would be for us Charleston, but I think you guys are closer to what
Wilmington,
the
Wrightsville Beach is the closest beach, depending on
yeah.
how quickly you drive. I always tell people it's an hour and a half, but it's really like 2 hours. Um, so a lot of people, and I remember growing up in Raleigh, we used to just go down to the beach for the day. Like we would just get in the car in the morning and head down and then come back at night. So
Okay.
I will say as close as the beach is, I don't think I've been to the beach once this year. If I had to pick between the beach and the mountains, I would definitely pick the mountains just because I like to hike and I
Which
prefer
mountains would you go
weather.
to?
What's that?
Where would you go to the mountains?
Where would I go?
Yeah.
So I went to App State, so we'd probably go to Boone, Blowing Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's closer. Asheville's about 4 hours from us. So
Okay.
it's an easy drive. It's just a straight shot down 40, pass through Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and then you're there. So I love that. I love being able to just go for a weekend trip, and sometimes we'll go up for the games just to get
Yeah.
away.
We
Especially
went to App State area for my first time last year, and it was super cute. Like Blowing Rock is definitely one of the like top 10 destinations you should visit if you're kind of like local to the area.
yeah, again,
Yeah.
it's underrated. People don't realize what's there. I think a lot of people may think of like the Blue Ridge, they think of Asheville, which is great. But
It's a very different scene.
exactly, yeah. It's a little more low key and Boone and Blowing Rock, and you've got again as much to do there as you do any other big mountain town. So
Absolutely. Yeah. But I would like to keep it like low key though, because I feel like every area around here is just getting so busy that it's like, where are we going to go to vacation?
I know we're gonna have
But
to find somewhere else. Have to go to an island somewhere.
okay. So what is in your MLS coverage area? Like I know you guys cover a large range of land over there. So what's your favorite place to check out?
Just recreationally, just going to hang out.
Yeah.
Um, Again, I'm a big runner. I love hiking, anything outdoors. So I'm Stud Park. So I'm in Cary. It's about a 10-15 minute drive from where I live.
Okay.
Again, it's over 6,000 acres. There's lakes. You can horseback ride. It's very flat for riding your bike, running. And then we have what's called the American Tobacco Trail. It's a 23-mile old abandoned railroad. And it's
that's cool.
It spans from Apex, which is south, all the way up to Durham. 23 miles, and it's super flat, obviously, because it's an old railroad track. So you see a lot of people out there, running and biking, and it's wooded, so you're not, getting beat up by the sun.
That's really cool. For hiking here, I mean, we have like greenways that go throughout the city.
Yeah.
But they're more so, I mean, they're great for bikers because it's a paved, private path. Great to like walk your dog and stuff. But if you really want to go hiking over here, you probably need to go to, we have like Crowder's Mountain, which is about.
It's a big attraction there, I've heard. Yeah. I've not been. One? I see pictures all the time from my friends that live in Charlotte. They've Crowder Mountain to be the big go-to.
It's the closest one. Like you've got Grandfather Mountain, which is like an hour and a half away, maybe. And I believe that one actually has like a sky bridge, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you done that one?
I have, yeah. Being that I went to school at App State, we used to go up there quite a bit. So that was, that's fun.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. So Crowder's is like a 35, 45-minute drive from here. So I think it's just the easiest one, but that's where you get like your really good hiking over here.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So what's real estate look like over by you guys? Like what is your average price point? What have you guys seen in the past like couple years? I know it's been crazy over here.
Yeah, our price point has gone up significantly. Obviously, we had that little bit of a correction last summer when interest rates went up. So we saw probably a 12 to 13% reduction in pricing. But it's healthy gains up year after year, 3 to 4%. But the average price point, I'd say in our market is hovering right around like 550.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's slowly increasing, which again is still relatively low. And when you look at the United States as a whole and you look at other major markets, 500 is still relatively low for most, but yeah, it's going up.
Ours is about 525 is the average here. I mean, if you go up to like Lake Mormon or something, it's, in the 725 range. But I remember like when I first started here about 6 years ago, it was like the average price point was like 250, 275. So it's just crazy how much it's increased, which is out of this world. Yeah. COVID sent it into like a skyrocket.
Exactly. And it's just the influx of people that are moving here is driving up the price. But, I mean, it comes at a cost. So, I mean, there's good things, a lot of good things happening in the area. So
what does traffic look like over by you guys?
So we have, I know you guys, it's called 540. It's our toll road. Okay. Not in comparison to what you guys have in Charlotte.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
It's about 75% of the way done. And I think they're going to be completed with the other 25% in about 2 years or so. So that's really helps cut down with traffic. So folks that live kind of on the south side of Raleigh can jump on the toll road and get up to Research Triangle Park, which is in that northwestern section. So it's really not bad. I mean, obviously at 7:30 in the morning and 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, you've got a lot of traffic on 40. But with any city, you're going to have that, but it's not bad.
Yeah, that's one of, I think, Charlotte's like biggest downfalls is the traffic. I just feel like so many people are coming here, and the roads are not expanding. They are doing a lot of construction on them, which just leads to the problem even more. Yeah. And I feel like I know every time you talk to somebody in a city, like, oh yeah, traffic is pretty bad. I'm like, I don't know. I lived in a handful of cities and this is pretty bad. So
you just got to time it right. But it's, I guess that's the one small concern I have is the infrastructure. I'm like, we've got the toll road, but we don't have, really great transportation system. We don't have obviously a subway or we have buses, but they're not really utilized.
You don't have a blue rail or anything. I learned recently that there is a train that goes from Charlotte to Raleigh. Have you ever taken that?
Yeah, I did actually. I think I took it like 20 years ago when I was growing up here. I know actually a lot of people that do that. There's a friend of mine I was talking to a couple weeks ago and she said, we just went to Charlotte for the day. We got on the train. They have little kids and they were like, we just, made a fun day out of it.
I just learned that like a year ago, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, we should visit each other on the train.
Yes, I've never been on it. I mean, I've been on like the light rail here, and like the higher speed trains. I've never been on like a traditional train. So yeah, it would be an experiment for sure.
Yeah. No, it's our train station is probably 5 minutes from my house. It's in downtown Cary, and people use it a lot. So,
Interesting. Does it stop along the way, or is it a straight shot?
I do think it stops. Yeah, they do think they said it does stop. That's the only negative. It does take longer. So if you were to get in your car and drive from Raleigh to Charlotte, it's 2.5 hours. If you took a train, it's probably, I think it's going to be a little bit longer because of the stops. But, if you don't want to drive, then it's a nice option.
I mean, it works. Yeah. I know parking in like cities can be challenging. So if you do just want a day trip and don't want to have to worry about it, or a concert or something.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, pull out your phone and I want to see your favorite house in like the 5 to 550 range.
Okay.
Just like tell us a little bit about it. Like, what's the neighborhood? What do you like about it?
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I will say in the 5 to 550 range, they go quick just because that's such a price point. I should say really anything under 550 is gone still within average days on market is like 2 weeks. Once you get into 600-700 range plus, they marinate a little bit longer. But there's this house that I was like oohing and ahhing over. It's in North Raleigh, like 10 minutes from an area called North Hills. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
Yes, there's like a lot of shopping over there and stuff, right?
Yep. So kind of like similar to like a Dilworth. There's a lot of boutiques and unique restaurants, mom and pop restaurants. They have a movie theater, staples, but let me find it real quick. I've already lost the address.
I know, I've lost mine too here.
I think it was on Paddock. Let's see. Yeah, it's 1100. And I think it went under contract actually this morning. Paddock.
Nice.
You want me to text it to you?
Yeah. Okay. Is it like a larger home? Is it newer homes? I know over by North.
Yeah,
I know they have a lot of ranch homes and stuff.
I love older homes that have been renovated. We have a ton of new construction, but I just love the older homes on the mature lots. This one's on over a 1/4 acre ranch home, cute painted brick, and they came in and updated it from top to bottom. So,
oh, cute.
Those homes to me, I'm like, I would rather have a smaller home, older home in an established neighborhood versus a big home in a new construction community. Because to me, it's all about the location. But
yeah. So over here, it's pretty similar too. Like there's the one, again, not a lot in that price point right now, but also, we're seeing inventory slow down with the season. But there's a pretty similar, like it's in South Charlotte, which if you have to choose North or South Charlotte, people are usually going to choose South. Like for 500, it's like a 2,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. It's not renovated. Right. It's 2941 Heathgate. It's like a super cute. I don't know if you'll be able to see on.
When you say South Charlotte, what would the town be?
Kind of like not quite down towards Ballantyne, like over by the Arboretum area. So a decent amount of shopping, but more so for the community. But it's in the Candlewick community, which is like a Charlotte staple. So houses built like 60s, 70s. A lot of families because the schools are really good down there. But just a super cute house. And this one has not been renovated, but a lot of them are getting renovated.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it would go for more, except the fact that it is a split level. And I don't know what you see, but like they're hit or miss over here. They're hard to.
I like split level homes. We have a lot of them here, like in the inside the Beltline, we call it, and like near the downtown areas, of course, where we see a lot of the older properties. But yeah, they're nice. I like them. So you said what
do you just call the Beltline? What is that?
And it's called Inside the Beltline, ITB. That's what people refer to it as.
Okay.
So you're looking at Raleigh in the center, 40 goes around it, and 440, and so you're 440 the Beltline.
Okay.
So if you're inside that loop, that circle, then it's considered inside. So it's just, that downtown area, and you just have a lot of the older historic homes built in like the late 1800s, early 1900s that have been renovated. They're like $350, $400 a foot. I mean, they're crazy expensive, but it's all about the location. So
Yeah. Okay. We have, so if you look at Charlotte, like you see the interstate is one big circle. And then as you get closer to uptown, there's another circle. So we call it like inside the loop or the inner loop. So pretty similar.
yeah.
Okay. And then what is your most expensive one in your in your local area, I should say, because I know you guys can kind of have a variety.
Yeah. So this house was originally listed for $9 million, which for our area, I know in comparison to Charlotte, that's probably nothing, but in our area, it's one of the most expensive homes.
Yeah.
It's over 12,000 square feet, and it backs up to a lake. It's on, I think, let me look. It's on just shy of an acre.
What's that address?
It's 2029 Giovanni Court.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's just outside my neighborhood, and it overlooks an amphitheater called Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. It's a lake where they have a lot of different events and festivals. They have the 4th of July fireworks, so it's just a really popular spot. This home has been on the market for a while, so I guess they're looking for the right buyer at that price tag. But it's stunning. It's updated. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a big house. So
yeah. Ours is currently listed at 8,000,840 right now, and it's just over an acre, 8,000 square foot, obviously updated very well, but it has a lot of like Italian marble in it and separate garages. But this one is specifically on like Quail Hollow Golf Course, so they do a lot of the tournaments over there and stuff. It's on the 15th hole of the golf course, so it's got like a pool, and I mean it's gorgeous. Hardwood floors and like a bathroom that's the size of my house, I think. So, so you know, it's been on the market for a little bit. So looking for that specific buyer, I would say. Yeah, 8 million here. I mean, up on the
How big did you say it is?
8,000 square foot.
Dang, and it's how much?
8,000 or 8,490,000.
Wow, and days on market. You said it's been sitting for a while.
This one is 98 days on market.
98, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been there but you know, that's going to take a hot minute. And then there's when you're on the Quail Hollow Golf Course, there's like a lot of, you have to be a member and everything. So a lot of things that, you know, a lifestyle that you're buying into for sure.
Yeah. You guys just had you guys have a PGA.
Yeah, the Wells Fargo.
Yeah, I've been to that. My brother goes to that every year. So
yeah, it's a big event.
Prestigious courses in Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, golfing's pretty big here. That's obviously one of the nicer courses, and that's a huge event for Charlotte. Like they build like bridges over certain streets and stuff for pedestrians to make it like friendly, and it's kind of cool to see. But yeah, it's in a good area. Now, 8 million is like a huge price here. Like that's usually not the standard price tag. But if you're up on the lake, like Lake Norman, you'll start to see like the higher end, like $4 or $5 million houses.
Yeah. What's like the most expensive home that you've seen in your area?
In South Park, they go for like 2.5, 3 million.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're usually not very big. Like the lots are smaller in South Park.
Yeah. Do you guys see homes that are north of like 10 million, like 10 to 15, or do you guys, because when I homes in like the Myers Park area, which is kind of like our inside the Beltline, I just like drool over those every time I see them. I always envision those being like 10 million plus, but is that not?
No, they're in Myers Park. Like your average is probably going to be about 2.5 because they're smaller lots, they're smaller homes. So there's not a ton of square footage, not a ton of land. But yeah, I mean, you're about that 2-3 million in Myers Park area. You get the heavier price points when you go up to Lake Norman, and you get like obviously the lakefront properties.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any lakes around you?
So we do, but you can't live on the lakes here, which is really interesting because I get a lot of people that they say, "Oh, I want to live in Raleigh and we want waterfront." And I'm like, go talk to Brandy in Charlotte; she'll take you to Lake Norman. It's our water reservoir. So Jordan Lake is the closest lake to us. It's like 25 minutes. It's a lake. You can go camping and hiking and, you know, take your boat out on the lake or whatever, but you can't, they won't allow you to build on the lake. And then we have Falls Lake, which is North Raleigh. And I don't think my best of my understanding is you can't really live on that lake either.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Negative, yeah. We have some nice lakes, but we have little lakes that, like in Cary, we have a community called Lockmere, and they have a few little small lakes and some houses back to them, but nothing in comparison to Lake Norman or Lake Wiley.
Yeah, I mean, Lake Norman and Wiley, so they both connect, and the border of Lake Norman is owned by Duke Energy, so they do use that for our, a good portion of the energy source here. But you can still, I know, I've noticed that there's not a lot of commercial properties on the lake, like not a ton of restaurants. There's a handful up there, so I think permitting, and we have a lot of like dock regulations here because of that. Like a lot of houses, you can't have docks because of I don't know what all goes into it, but because of Duke Energy, I do know there's a lot of restrictions on it. So when they do come on the market, they usually come with a heavy price tag. So
I'm sure it's probably anything under $1 million on the lake just because of the views.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for hopping on here. I appreciate it. And yes, let's get that train ride set up to Raleigh and Charlotte for a day.
Come see you on the train.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Emily.
Thanks.
Bye.